Your feet can warn you about heart failure before your chest ever does. And after 70, the signs often show up where most people never think to look. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share science-backed health tips like this every single day. Over the years, one pattern keeps showing up again and again. People ignore changes in their feet because they blame age, weather, or standing too long. Then later, they find out their circulation was struggling the whole time. That is why this matters. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the early foot signs that can happen when your heart is no longer pumping the way it should, and what you can do about them right away. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we're helping. Here's what most people get wrong. They think heart failure always starts with crushing chest pain. It usually doesn't. Many times the first clues are quiet: swollen ankles, cold feet, strange color changes, numbness, shoes that feel tighter at night than they did that morning. Not dramatic, but dangerous. And look, I'm not saying every foot problem means your heart is failing. Let me be clear about that. Arthritis can affect your walk. Nerve problems can affect feeling. Vein issues can affect swelling. But when your feet start changing for no clear reason, especially after 70, you do not brush that off. A 2021 study from the University of Rochester using University of Michigan aging data found that persistent foot or ankle swelling affected about 19% to 20% of older Americans. That is not rare. That is 1 in 5. Here's the shocking part. A 2016 study from Johns Hopkins University found that pedal edema, which means foot and ankle swelling, was present in 28% of adults studied and was linked to a 44% higher risk of future heart failure hospitalization. So no, this is not just getting older. Sometimes your feet are acting like an alarm bell long before you end up in the hospital. And if you catch it early, you give yourself a much better chance. Number 5, puffy ankles and deep sock marks. Most people think swollen feet mean they had too much salt yesterday or spent too much time sitting, but actually swelling can happen when your heart is pumping too weakly to move blood forward. Then fluid starts backing up. Think of it like a traffic jam. When cars stop moving, everything piles up behind them. When blood flow slows down, fluid leaks into the tissues of your feet and ankles. Why does it show up in your feet first? Gravity. Your feet are the basement of your body. If fluid is going to collect anywhere, that is often where it lands. A 2016 study from Johns Hopkins University found that people with pedal edema were more likely to have other early heart failure clues, including waking up short of breath at night and needing extra pillows to breathe comfortably. Sound familiar? Here's how to check this at home. In the evening, take off your socks and look for deep marks that stay there. Press your thumb gently into your ankle or shin for 5 seconds. If a dent stays behind, that can be a warning sign called pitting. Then compare both feet. Are both swollen? Is one worse? Did your shoes fit in the morning but feel tight by dinner? Write it down for 7 days. Not once, but every day. Patterns matter. Now, what do? First, weigh yourself every morning after using the bathroom and before breakfast. Use the same scale, wear the same type of clothing. If your weight jumps by 2 to 3 pounds in a day or 5 pounds in a week, that can mean fluid buildup, not fat gain. Second, keep your feet raised above heart level for 15 to 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. Use pillows under your calves, not directly under your heels. Third, watch sodium, not eat better in general. Watch sodium specifically. Try simple swaps. 1 cup of plain cooked oatmeal has about 2 milligrams of sodium. 1 cup of plain brown rice has about 10 milligrams. Half a cup of no salt added black beans can be under 20 milligrams. Compare that with canned soup, frozen dinners, or deli meat, which can carry 600 to 1,200 milligrams in one serving. Big difference. And one more thing, don't just drink less water on your own because your feet are swollen. Most people think less water fixes swelling, but actually the real problem is often salt, circulation, or heart function. But wait until you see number 4 because this next sign gets ignored even more. Number 4, feet that stay cold even in a warm room. Most people think cold feet are just poor insulation, thin skin, or bad socks, but actually, cold feet can mean reduced blood flow. And when blood is not reaching your feet well, your heart and blood vessels may be struggling together. Your arteries are like delivery roads. If those roads narrow, the packages do not arrive. Johns Hopkins Medicine warns that coldness or numbness in the feet can be a sign of peripheral artery disease, also called PAD. That means narrowed arteries in the legs. And here's why that matters for your heart. PAD is not just a leg problem, it is often a whole body circulation problem. A 2019 study from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health found that lifetime PAD risk reached about 30% in Black men and 28% in Black women, with risk around 19% in white men and women. That tells you this is common, serious, and tightly linked to heart and blood vessel disease. So how do you check this without guessing? Sit down and touch both feet with the back of your hand. Does one feel much colder than the other? Look at the toes. Do they stay pale after you've been sitting? Do your feet warm up only when you rub them hard or walk around? Pay attention to timing. Cold feet after sitting still for 30 minutes is different from cold feet after walking outside in winter. What helps? Walking helps more than people realize. Your calf muscles act like a second heart. Every time you squeeze them, they help push blood back upward. Start small. Walk 5 minutes after breakfast and 5 minutes after dinner. If your legs ache, stop, rest, then start again. Build toward 20 to 30 minutes total. A 2023 study from the University of Alabama at Birmingham found that in older adults, every extra 500 steps a day was linked to a 14% lower risk of heart disease, stroke, or heart failure. That is only about a quarter mile. Small steps, big return. Food matters here too. Aim for artery-friendly fats, not fried fats. 3 ounces of salmon gives you roughly 1,500 milligrams of omega-3 fats. 1 ounce of walnuts gives you about 2.5 grams of plant omega-3s. 1 tablespoon of olive oil gives you mostly monounsaturated fat, the kind that is easier on your blood vessels than butter or shortening, not miracle foods, but better fuel for a tired system. Quick question. Have you experienced cold feet or ankle swelling lately? Comment yes or no below. And don't miss number 3, because this one can look harmless and still be urgent. Number 3, toes that turn pale, blue, or purple. Most people think color changes in the toes come from age, spots, pressure, or sitting funny, but actually color changes can mean oxygen-rich blood is not reaching the tissues well enough. When your feet lose healthy pink color, that is not cosmetic. That is circulation. Think of your blood like fresh paint. When it moves well, color looks bright. When it sits, slows, or cannot get through, color turns dull, pale, bluish, purple. Mayo Clinic lists cold feet, skin color changes, weak pulses, and slow healing sores among the warning signs of peripheral artery disease. And severe circulation problems do not just threaten your feet. They raise the risk of heart attack and stroke too. Here's the thing. Many people wait too long because the color comes and goes. It may show up when you elevate your feet, or when you wake up, or after sitting in a recliner. So check under good lighting. Look at the bottoms of your toes, the nail beds, and the sides of the feet. Press gently on a toenail until it turns white, then release. Normal color should come back quickly. If it stays pale longer than usual, bring that up with your doctor. What can you do right now? First, stop smoking if you smoke, not next month, now. Smoking tightens blood vessels like someone stepping on a garden hose. Second, keep moving every hour. Set a timer if you have to. Do 20 ankle pumps, 10 heel raises while holding the counter, and a 2-minute walk through the house. Third, protect the skin. Use a plain moisturizer on dry feet, but not between the toes, because trapped moisture there can lead to infection. For food, focus on nitrate-rich vegetables that support blood vessel function. 1 cup of arugula is naturally rich in nitrates. Half a cup of cooked beets gives you nitrates and fiber. 1 cup of spinach adds potassium, magnesium, and folate. These are not magic, but they support the pipes that carry blood where it needs to go. A 2022 report from Stanford Medicine noted that as many as 55% of people with PAD may go undiagnosed because only 10% to 20% show the classic symptoms doctors expect. That means you cannot wait for a dramatic sign. Sometimes your toes change color long before anyone says the words heart disease. But number 2 is where many people get fooled because it feels like a nerve problem, not a circulation problem. Number 2, burning, tingling, or numb feet at night. Most people think tingling feet always mean neuropathy, which is nerve damage. But actually, nerves and blood flow are partners. If blood supply drops, nerves get irritated. And when nerves get less oxygen, your feet can burn, buzz, tingle, or go numb. Not because you are just old, but because the wiring is not getting enough power. Cleveland Clinic says poor circulation can cause pain, numbness, tingling, and coldness in the feet and toes. Johns Hopkins also lists numbness and coldness in the feet as common PAD symptoms. So if your feet feel electric at night or you have to hang them off the bed to get relief, pay attention. Why at night? Because when everything is quiet, you notice the signals more. And because circulation changes when you lie down. Here's how to sort this out. Ask yourself 3 questions. Does walking make it better or worse? Does one foot feel different from the other? Have you noticed this along with swelling, shortness of breath, or less stamina? Those clues matter. Keep a simple notebook by your bed. Write down the time it starts, what it feels like, how long it lasts, and what helps. That record can help a doctor connect dots faster. Now for the practical side. Do not put a heating pad directly on numb feet. If you cannot feel heat well, you can burn your skin without knowing it. Instead, try a warm pair of socks, 5 minutes of ankle circles, and a short walk through the house before bed. If your doctor allows exercise, a regular walking plan helps more than people think. A 2018 study from Northwestern University found that people with PAD who followed a home walking program improved their 6-minute walking distance by 53.5 meters, while the control group got worse. That is what better circulation can do over time. For food, think blood sugar and blood vessel support together. Half a cup of lentils gives you about 8 grams of fiber. 1 small apple gives you about 4 grams. A 6-ounce container of plain Greek yogurt gives you about 15 to 17 grams of protein with much less sugar than flavored versions. Steadier blood sugar helps nerves. Better food choices help blood vessels. Not one or the other, both. Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. Now let's get to number 1. This is the sign people regret ignoring the most. Number 1, swelling that gets worse by evening and comes with breathlessness or fast weight gain. Most people think the real heart signs should be in the chest. But actually, one of the clearest signs can start in your feet and end in your lungs. When your heart cannot pump strongly enough, fluid does not just stay in your ankles. It can back up higher and higher, feet first, then legs, then belly, then lungs. That is when climbing stairs feels harder, lying flat feels uncomfortable, and you wake up feeling like you need air. Mayo Clinic lists swelling in the legs, ankles, and feet, along with shortness of breath, fatigue, and rapid weight gain from fluid buildup as classic heart failure symptoms. And remember that 2016 Johns Hopkins study? It found that people with pedal edema were more likely to have nighttime breathlessness and trouble breathing when lying down. That is a major clue. Not random swelling, but swelling with backup. So what should you do if this sounds like you? Start a 7-day check right now. Every morning, weigh yourself. Every evening, check your ankles and count how many times you had to stop to catch your breath that day. Notice whether you need more pillows to sleep. Notice whether your rings or waistband feel tighter too. Fluid does not hide in just one place. It travels. Food matters even more here. Packaged foods can quietly flood your body with sodium. Try building one low-sodium dinner this week. 3 ounces of baked chicken breast, 1 medium-baked sweet potato, and 1 cup of steamed green beans. That meal can stay well under 200 milligrams of sodium if you skip salty sauces. Compare that with takeout, which can top 1,500 milligrams in one meal. See the problem? Your heart may be weak, and the food is asking it to push even more fluid. I'd love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in the comments. Let's pump the brakes for a second. I'm not saying this to scare you, but you need to know what not to do. Do not stop your heart medicine on your own. Do not double your water pills unless your doctor told you exactly when to do that. Do not load up on potassium-rich foods like bananas, potatoes, and spinach. If you have kidney disease or take medicines like spironolactone, lisinopril, or losartan without asking your doctor first. Too much potassium can be dangerous. Do not start tight compression socks if one foot is very cold, pale, painful, or has a weak pulse until a doctor checks your circulation. Compression can help some people, but not everyone. And be careful with pain pills like ibuprofen or naproxen. These drugs can make fluid retention and blood pressure worse in some people with heart failure. When should you see a doctor? Soon if you have new swelling, colder feet, numbness, color changes, or shoes suddenly fitting tighter. Urgently if you have chest pain, severe shortness of breath, fainting, one-sided swelling, blue toes, or sores that will not heal. Those are not watch and wait symptoms. Those are get checked symptoms. So you're convinced, but thinking, how do I actually do this? Keep it simple. Start with a morning routine that takes less than 3 minutes. Step on the scale, look at your feet, press your ankle once, write down your weight, that's it. Then take 2 short walks a day, even if each one is only 5 to 10 minutes. After lunch or dinner, elevate your legs for 15 minutes, not all afternoon, just enough to help. If money is tight, keep it basic. Plain oats, beans with no salt added, frozen vegetables, potatoes, eggs, canned tuna packed in water if you rinse it. These are cheaper than packaged health foods and often better for sodium control. And if you hate tracking numbers, just pick one rule. Avoid foods with more than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving when you can. Simple beats, perfect every time. Look, there's a lot of noise out there. People will tell you every foot symptom is nothing, or that every foot symptom is a disaster. The truth is in the middle. You don't need to panic, but you do need to pay attention. Your feet can tell you when circulation is slowing down, when fluid is backing up, and when your heart may be asking for help. You don't need to overthink this. Start with just one action step tomorrow morning. Check your feet and your weight before breakfast. That one habit can show you patterns you would have missed, and your body will tell you if it's working. Less swelling, easier walking, better breathing, shoes that fit the same all day. Those are wins. If this helped you, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed because we post new health tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong,